Hello everyone, welcome back. Every time we tried to do something, the car broke. And it was a different fault every time.
What if
we did the impossible, but now it's going to get a lot harder because everything from now on is building the car and fixing it. We've got all the damaged parts off.
The discovery sent shockwaves through the automotive world. While digging deeper into mysterious failures surrounding his Bugatti Veyron, Matt Armstrong reportedly uncovered a recall document that appears to prove Bugatti already knew one specific component was defective on as many as 72 Veyrons. Suddenly, what seemed like an isolated mechanical disaster became something much bigger. A question of whether owners had been fully informed about a potentially catastrophic fault hidden inside one of the world's most expensive hypercars. The document has ignited fierce debate among enthusiasts, with many asking the same explosive question. If Bugatti knew this part could fail, why did so many owners continue driving their cars without knowing the risks? For Matt, this wasn't just another repair challenge anymore. It became a search for the truth behind a secret that could change the reputation of the legendary Veyron forever. As the details of the document began to spread across social media, the entire car community erupted with theories and questions. Forums that normally discuss horsepower and top speed records suddenly turned into investigation centers. Owners of Bugatti Veyrons from around the world started checking their service records, searching through old emails, and contacting dealerships to find out whether their cars could have been affected. Some were shocked. Others were angry. A few even wondered if they had experienced strange symptoms in their cars years earlier, without realizing that a known issue might have been responsible. For Matt Armstrong, the discovery added an entirely new layer of pressure to an already unbelievable rebuild journey. What had started as an ambitious project to bring a damaged hypercar back to life was now beginning to look like an investigation into one of the biggest mysteries surrounding the Veyron. Every bolt, every damaged component, and every unexpected failure suddenly seemed connected to a much larger story. The question wasn't just how to fix the car anymore. The question was whether this problem could have been avoided in the first place. Imagine spending millions of dollars on one of the most exclusive cars ever built, believing it represents the highest level of engineering perfection, only to discover that a critical component may have been known to fail. For many enthusiasts, that idea was almost impossible to accept. The Bugatti Veyron wasn't just a car, it was a symbol. It was a machine that changed the automotive world forever, the hypercar that broke records and redefined what was possible. The thought that such a legendary vehicle could have a hidden weakness left many fans stunned, and Matt continued his investigation. Every new piece of information seemed to raise even more questions. Why were only certain cars affected? How severe was the fault? Was the issue fully resolved, or were some vehicles still driving around with a potentially defective component? Nobody seemed to have all the answers, and that uncertainty only made the story more dramatic. The internet quickly divided into two camps. One side argued that every manufacturer experiences problems, and that recalls are a normal part of the automotive industry. The other side believed that when a hypercar costs millions of dollars, owners expect absolute perfection and complete transparency. The debate became more intense with every passing day. Videos discussing the issue gained millions of views, and countless enthusiasts waited for the next update from Matt Armstrong. Then came another shocking realization. If this component truly had a known history of failure, the repair costs could be staggering. Bugatti parts are famously expensive, and replacing major components on a Veyron can cost more than an entire luxury car. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about a faulty part. It was about the enormous financial consequences that could follow if something went wrong that Matt's determination never changed. Instead of backing away from the challenge, he pushed even harder to uncover the truth. Cameras kept rolling, mechanics continued inspecting every inch of the car, and viewers around the world became emotionally invested in the outcome. It felt less like a rebuild and more like a documentary about one of the most iconic hypercars ever created. The possibility that a hidden document could reveal what Bugatti knew, and when they knew it only increased attention. Every detail mattered. Every date on the paperwork mattered. Every technical note mattered. Car enthusiasts began analyzing screenshots and comparing information with reports from other Veyron owners, hoping to piece together the complete story. For many people watching, this became about more than just one broken Bugatti. It became a reminder that even the most expensive and exclusive machines are not immune to problems. Behind the breathtaking performance figures and stunning engineering are thousands of components, and it only takes one faulty part to create a chain reaction of consequences. Yet despite all the controversy, one thing became clear. Matt Armstrong had uncovered a story nobody expected. What started as a dream project had transformed into one of the most talked about investigations in the automotive world. Every new discovery raised the stakes, and every update left viewers wanting more. As the sun set in the workshop and the cameras continued recording, one question remained hanging in the air. Was this recalled document simply evidence of a responsible manufacturer addressing a problem? Or was it proof that one of the automotive world's biggest secrets had finally been exposed? The answer could change the way enthusiasts look at the Bugatti Veyron forever. And if Matt Armstrong's journey has taught us anything, it's that the truth always has a way of finding its way into the light, no matter how powerful the brand, how expensive the car, or how unbelievable the story may seem. But the story didn't end there. The deeper Matt dug, the more unbelievable the situation became. Mechanics and automotive experts began asking whether this faulty component could have been responsible for other mysterious failures that had occurred over the years. Suddenly, old stories from Veyron owners started resurfacing. A strange warning light here, an unexpected breakdown there, and expensive repairs that had never been fully explained. Piece by piece, the puzzle seemed to be getting bigger. Inside the workshop, the atmosphere was tense. Every part removed from the car felt like another clue in an ongoing investigation. Matt and his team carefully inspected every component, searching for signs that could confirm their suspicions. They knew that if the recall document was accurate, then this wasn't just another repair video. It was a chance to uncover something that could affect dozens of Veyron owners around the world. The timing of the discovery couldn't have been more dramatic. Just when everyone thought the rebuild was entering its final stages, this document completely changed the narrative. Instead of celebrating the return of a legendary hypercar, viewers were now asking whether one of Bugatti's most iconic creations had been carrying a hidden weakness all along. Social media exploded again. Some fans defended Bugatti, arguing that every manufacturer faces engineering challenges and that recalls exist to protect customers. Others weren't convinced. They questioned whether all affected owners had been informed and whether the issue had been taken seriously enough. The arguments became so intense that every new update from Matt was being analyzed frame by thousands of viewers. Then came another terrifying thought. What if the failure had happened at high speed? The Bugatti Veyron is a machine capable of over 250 miles per hour. At those incredible speeds, even the smallest mechanical problem can have enormous consequences. The realization made the story even more serious. This wasn't merely about expensive repairs anymore. It was about trust, safety, and the responsibility that comes with building one of the fastest cars in history. As news of the document spread, more people began paying attention to Matt's rebuild than ever before. Millions of viewers wanted answers. They wanted to know what the faulty part was, why it failed, and whether the issue had been fully resolved. The rebuild had become one of the most fascinating automotive stories on the internet. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about the entire situation was Matt himself. Most people would have given up long ago. Faced with endless setbacks, enormous repair bills, and shocking discoveries, they would have walked away. Instead, Matt kept going. Every obstacle seemed to make him more determined to finish the project and uncover the truth. In many ways, the broken Veyron had become a symbol of perseverance. Every damaged component represented another challenge to overcome. Every unexpected discovery created another mystery to solve. And every setback only made the eventual victory seem even more meaningful. Then came the question that nobody could ignore. If this document proves that Bugatti knew about the fault on 72 Veyrons, could there still be affected cars out there today? Could some owners be driving their million-dollar hypercars without realizing that their vehicle once had a known issue? The possibility sent chills through the automotive community. As the rebuild continued, the tension kept rising. The closer Matt got to putting the Veyron back together, the more everyone realized that this story was bigger than a single car. It had become an investigation into engineering, accountability, and the hidden history of one of the world's greatest hypercars. And somewhere inside that workshop, surrounded by tools, parts, and unanswered questions, sat the machine that started it all, a Bugatti Veyron that refused to be just another rebuild project. It had become the center of a mystery that captured the attention of car enthusiasts around the world. Because sometimes rebuilding a car isn't just about fixing what's broken. Sometimes it's about discovering why it broke in the first place. And that is exactly why millions of people are still watching, waiting to see what Matt Armstrong uncovers next. Just when it seemed like the story couldn't get any bigger, another possibility began to emerge. What if this faulty component had been silently affecting the reputation of the Veyron for years? The Bugatti Veyron was designed to be more than just a hypercar. It was meant to be the ultimate expression of engineering excellence, a machine so advanced that it changed the entire automotive industry. But now, one document had the power to raise questions that nobody ever expected to ask. Back in the workshop, the pressure was enormous. Every update from Matt Armstrong attracted millions of views, and with every new video came more speculation. Some viewers believed this discovery could force a complete reevaluation of how certain Veyron repairs had been handled in the past. Others thought the issue had already been dealt with years ago and that the internet was simply making the story bigger than it really was. But one thing was impossible to deny. The recall document existed, and its existence alone had created a storm. AS mechanics continued inspecting the car. They began discussing the incredible complexity of the Veyron itself. This isn't an ordinary supercar. The vehicle contains thousands of components working together under unbelievable levels of stress and performance. At full speed, the engine generates an enormous amount of heat. The gearbox handles incredible forces, and every mechanical system is pushed to its absolute limit. In a machine this advanced, one faulty part can trigger a chain reaction of problems. That realization made the entire story even more dramatic. If a component known to be defective had indeed been installed in dozens of cars, then every owner had a reason to pay attention. Suddenly, this wasn't just Matt Armstrong's problem anymore. It had become a topic of discussion for the entire Bugatti community. Then came another emotional moment in the rebuild journey. Looking at the damaged parts spread across the workshop floor, Matt couldn't help but realize how far the project had come. There had been setbacks, unexpected costs, and moments when the rebuild seemed almost impossible. Yet somehow, the Veyron was still fighting its way back to life. And perhaps that's why so many people have become invested in this story. IT wasn't just about ACA. IT was about determination. IT was about refusing to quit when everything goes wrong. IT was about taking on one of the most complicated machines ever built and proving that even a seemingly impossible challenge can be overcome as the days passed. Viewers waited anxiously for the next revelation. Would more documents appear? Would additional owners come forward with their own experiences? Could this discovery lead to even bigger questions about the history of the Veyron? Nobody knew. But that's exactly what made the story so compelling. Every time I'd opened another box of parts or removed another panel from the car, it felt like another chapter in a mystery that was still unfolding. The rebuild had transformed from a simple restoration project into an automotive detective story filled with unexpected twists and unanswered questions. And through it all, one thing remained certain. The Bugatti Veyron still held secrets. Secrets hidden behind carbon fiber panels. Secrets buried in old paperwork and service records. Secrets that perhaps nobody expected to be uncovered. As the cameras continued rolling and the rebuild entered its next stage, the tension reached a new level. The dream of seeing this legendary hypercar return to the road was closer than ever, but the questions surrounding the faulty component refused to disappear. Because sometimes the biggest discoveries happen when you're looking for something completely different. And sometimes fixing a broken car can reveal a story that nobody saw coming. The engine may eventually roar back to life. The wheels may turn once again. The Veyron may return to the road. But the mystery surrounding that recalled document and what it could mean for 72 Bugatti Veyrons may continue to be debated for years to come. And that is why Matt Armstrong's journey is no longer just a rebuild. It's a story about uncovering the truth. One part at a time that as the rebuild approached its final chapters, the atmosphere inside the workshop felt completely different. This was no longer just another YouTube project or another damaged supercar waiting to be repaired. The Veyron had become the center of one of the most fascinating automotive stories in recent memory. Every nut and bolt carried a question, and every discovery seemed to reveal another piece of the puzzle that nobody even knew existed when this journey began. For Matt Armstrong, the mission had become personal. Countless hours, sleepless nights, and an incredible amount of determination had gone into bringing this legendary machine back from the dead. But now there was something even bigger at stake. The recall document had changed everything. It had turned a rebuild into an investigation and transformed a broken hypercar into a symbol of unanswered questions. The automotive community watched every update with intense curiosity. Some people were convinced that the document proved there was more to the story than anyone realized. Others argued that every manufacturer faces technical problems, and that recalls are simply part of building complex machines. But regardless of which side people supported, everyone agreed on one thing. This story had become impossible to ignore. Every new video generated millions of discussions online, forums filled with theories. Social media exploded with opinions. Owners of exotic cars, mechanics, engineers, and ordinary car enthusiasts all wanted to know the same thing. What really happened? As the rebuilt Veyron slowly came back together, there was a sense that something historic was taking place. Few people ever get the chance to look this deeply inside one of the most exclusive hypercars ever built. Fewer still uncovered documents and details that raise questions about its hidden past. The project had become about much more than horsepower or speed records. It had become about truth, about persistence, about refusing to stop searching for answers, and perhaps that is why millions of people connected with Matt's journey. Everyone understands what it feels like to face obstacles